Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you're not new, thank you guys so much for coming back. I really appreciate your support. So today we are going to be talking about some of my favorites in my collection at the moment. It's always changing because I'm always trying new things, but at the moment these are some of my favorites. We're going to be talking about perfumes that were love at first sniff for me, because in my last declutter video, actually I had said about a couple perfumes that they didn't wow me, and then a couple people had said or asked me like which ones did wow me. So I thought I would share my love at first sniffs, some of my favorites in my collection at the moment. So if you guys want to see, then just keep on watching. First off, I'm going to start with like one that I feel like all of you guys are gonna know if you're not new here. So if you've been around for a while, try and guess, leave it down below before I start. Which one do you think it is? Because I feel like you guys are gonna guess it, because I can't talk about it without like not changing my face. And that is Jean Paul Gaultier's La Belle. You guys, this was in 2020. This was one of the perfumes that like when I bought it, honestly, it did things to me. It still does. There's something about this that I slept on this for a while, because on Fragrantica, it only had 3 listed notes. So I was just like, how special is it gonna be, you know? And when I got this, how funny is it that when you hold it, you're like cupping her little booty, you know? Anyways, that's random, but this is pear, vanilla, and vetiver. It sounds super simple. It might be to some people, but I don't care. I'm a simple girl sometimes, and this smells delicious. It's like a really ripe, juicy pear. Like when you bite into it, like the pear is like dripping down your face. That's how juicy it is. And then it smells like you caramelized it, like you sauteed it with brown sugar in a pan. Yes, it's vanilla. I'm just saying like the vibe I get when I smell it. Also, just like a heads up, these aren't going to be like full-on reviews because I've talked about a lot of these, but I'll touch on like why they're my favorites. But yeah. Anyway, so it smells like it's been caramelized in brown sugar, and there's like a little bit of spiciness. Think like baking spices, like cinnamon, that kind of thing. It is vetiver, but the vetiver doesn't smell like too woody. It doesn't smell too earthy like sometimes vetiver can. It smells, I don't know, it just gives it a little bit of depth. It gives it a little bit of like a spiciness. It smells delicious. It gives it that little bit of darkness that it needs, so that it's not cloying and just like basic and boring. But it's, to me, it reminds me of a dessert that I would make in the fall, like autumn, for some reason. I don't know why. It's sweet, but there is a little bit of that woodiness. It gives it like a tiny bit of spiciness. I love it. It's sweet, kind of cozy, delicious, gourmand. The opening I prefer is a little bit better. Like it's my favorite. That's why it was love at first sniff. But honestly, I can't talk about that. And I do have a dent, maybe not as much, because I will say I'm not like a huge oversprayer. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. But yeah, I wear this a lot to date nights because I don't know why. I find this so delicious. Amazing. Next up, okay, I guess let's talk about one that I started off with actually a rollerball, and then I used up my rollerball and I loved it so much, so I did buy the full size. This is Burberry Her. This was a blind buy for me, and again, these were all love at first sniff, obviously, but this one smells so delicious. This is, I described this as almost like a powder puffed strawberry. It smells like strawberry, like maybe an artificial strawberry, but delicious either way. But I definitely smell that strawberry. It's juicy, it's mouth-watering, it's so good. It gives it a little bit of sweetness, and then there's a powderiness to this, which is why I say it's like a powder puffed strawberry. But think of like the powdery sweet coating of a marshmallow, that kind of powderiness, not like a baby powder. It's sweet, it's a little bit powdery, which makes it a little bit soft. This could be a signature scent. I wear this all the time. Without being too, I know that you think like powder puffed strawberry, that sounds juvenile. It's not too young, I would say. Anybody could wear this. And if you're like, you know, I feel like this is kind of like girly, not like feminine, I should say, but delicious, playful, happy. This is me. I love this. If I was gonna have a signature scent, I feel like it could easily be Burberry Her. This was like a great blind buy. What other one do I want to talk about? let's talk about this one because I wore this one on Valentine's Day. I got this one a couple weeks ago. This is BDK Rouge Smoking. You guys, I wish I would have, I haven't talked about this yet on my channel, I don't think. P.S. Why am I dressed like this? I dress like I literally like have somewhere to go, like I have my life put together, but quarantine just has me, I don't even care. You'll catch me in a ball gown in the living room for no reason. Because I'm bored and I want to dress up, okay? Anyways, I wore this on Valentine's Day, but I got this a couple weeks ago and I catch myself wearing it often. I love the smell of this, adore. This has cherry, and in the opening, you get that cherry. It's again, it's delicious, but it's not overly sweet in my opinion. And it almost smells like a spicy cherry. It smells like cherry and cinnamon, like the cinnamon hearts that you eat on Valentine's Day, you know, like those red cinnamon hearts. They're a little bit sweet and a little bit spicy. That's what the opening of this is. It's sweet but spicy. There's no cinnamon listed in the notes, which is weird, but I swear I smell cherry and cinnamon. It's delicious. That sweet spicy combination, if you know, you know. I love that. I love cherry and cinnamon. The cinnamon isn't too dry. It is a little bit sweet. Oh, the opening of this is so good. And then the dry down, you get some vanilla. I think there's ambroxan in this. The dry down adds, like, again, it's sweet, but it's soft. This isn't too loud. I love that sweet and spicy opening, though. I think that's why it was a love at first sniff, because I like all of this, but that opening is, like, extra special. I know some people said it smells like Big Red's chewing gum. I get what they're saying, like, yes, there's a vibe of that, but to me, it's not that much cinnamon because I do get the cherry. It's not that spicy. It's almost like a cherry Coke. Some people, I read reviews saying that too, and I understand where they're coming from. Because it's sweet, it's spicy, there's no cinnamon listed, but I swear I smell cinnamon, and it's pretty feminine. It's almost like, I don't know. I don't want to say it's like Angel Share, but the cinnamon in Angel Share, if it was more feminine, with like a vanilla sort of smooth dry down. I don't want to say creamy, but it's kind of like creamy, vanilla, ambroxan. It's so nice. I like the dry down. I like the opening. I like it all. I love this. This is, oh, I don't want to say me in a bottle because all of these that I'm talking about, if they were love at first sniff, obviously, these are some of my favorites. So I love them all. They're all my babies. I guess since I just talked about it, let's talk Angel Share. You guys know. The reason this is love at first sniff, again, like La Belle, is because that opening, oh my goodness. That opening, it's boozy. It is intoxicating. The opening just captivates you, okay? Oof, this is unisex. So this one, I feel like, in my opinion, is definitely more feminine. I love this. I will say I do have to overspray this because I don't feel like it projects as much as I want it to. So when I wear it, this is one that I overspray. This one, I don't feel like I need to because it's pretty beastly. It's a lot more unisex, but that booziness, oh, that opening is what, it blows my mind, okay? This smells expensive, but it smells intoxicating. It smells so good. It's like, it has cognac, so it's boozy. It smells like sweet in the opening, but almost the sweetness in the opening comes from, like, I don't know, but I feel like it comes from, like, almost like fermented fruit that you would use to make the cognac. Oh, so it's boozy, it's sweet, it's spicy. You get the cinnamon, which I love. I love cinnamon, in case you guys didn't know. And I like warm scents, and I love booze, so I love this. And then in the dry down, the sweetness comes from the vanilla, but it's never overly sweet. If you wanted to add a little bit of vanilla, you could, but for me, it's a perfect amount of sweetness. I love it. I know some haters say that it's more masculine. I mean, to each his own. I like it just the way it is. I love that booziness in the opening, if you like a boozy scent. Plus, because I love cinnamon, I love this. I love that, especially for colder months. That was one that, it was an expensive, it would have been a blind buy, but I got it as a gift. Thank you to my friend who got it for me, but yeah, well worth it. That was an amazing, like, it would have been a safe blind buy for me. Next up, we have Pinrose Gilded Fox. I feel like in Canada this may have been discontinued. I'm not sure, but I got mine at Sephora and I don't see it on the website anymore. Let me just hike this up. But this smells like, again, this has vetiver. It has some rum in it. So see, I like vetiver. I like boozy scents, but I don't get too much of the rum in this. This smells like hot chocolate because there is chocolate. It's a very chocolatey scent. And the vetiver, again, gives it like a woody spiciness. So it just, it makes it smell delicious. This is so cozy. This is so delicious and warm. Like if you were going to a cottage or like a cabin in the winter time and you were going to be roasting marshmallows sitting in front of a fire, this would go so perfectly with a sweater. Cold weather outside, maybe it's snowing. This is so like, you know how when you're young, I don't know if you live in a cold place. I live in Canada, so when I was younger, I would go outside, play in the snow. I'd come back inside freezing, and your mom would give you like a hot chocolate to warm you up and comfort you. This is like what this is, like a grown-up, comforting hot chocolate scent. I love it. There is rum, like I said, so it's kind of like a spicy, spiked hot chocolate. Obsessed. It doesn't last that long. On me, I would say like 4 to 5 hours. If you spray your clothes, you'll get a little bit more out of it. But because I love the smell of it, basing it on smell alone, I kept it. Sometimes I wouldn't, but sometimes, again, like if I'm just going somewhere in the evening, I don't necessarily need my fragrance to last me 10 hours, 12 hours, you know what I mean? I'll spray it on before I go out, and if it lasts me 5 hours, that's fine, because if I'm going to dinner or whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, based on smell alone, I kept it. I didn't care about longevity because I love the smell so much. And then we have this one. This one's also pretty new, but this was not a blind buy. I went to the store and I tested this because based on the notes, if I was looking at just the notes, I never would have bought this. It has tuberose, which I do like a bubblegummy tuberose, as you guys know, but the other notes were like they had floral notes and a lot of like citrusy notes. So basing it on notes alone, I never would have bought this, which is why I went to Shoppers Drug Mart and tested it. And the second I tested it, I sprayed it on the paper strip and on my wrist, and I just kept going back to it, So I ended up buying a bottle because I love this. This makes me so happy when I smell this. It's feminine. It's definitely like juicy, zesty in the opening. It's mouth-watering. It's uplifting. It almost has like a sparkling, bubbly quality, which just really makes me so happy. I feel like this could easily be a signature scent, or like for me, more so spring and summer, but I'm not gonna lie, I've been wearing it because it just honestly makes me happy. So this was another one that like from the second I smelt it, it like really lifted my spirits, because right now we're on lockdown still since November, and my spirits, like obviously I'm human. Sometimes I don't wake up super happy, but this, if I'm having a bad day, I feel like I could spray this and it makes me so happy. So I love that. And last but not least, this is MAC Velvet Teddy. This is nostalgic, but this was also a love at first sniff. I was working at MAC, for those of you who didn't know, yes, I was a makeup artist at MAC for a little while, and when I was working there is when these were released. So we kind of, like when you're working there, you're supposed to wear the stuff. We were wearing it before it came out, and then when it's launching, you're supposed to like pick one. I think they came out with like 5. I'm not sure, but every time I had to pick one, I was always wearing this one because this is so me. This is warm, cozy. If I describe it, it's warm, sweet, and a little bit smoky. But the smoky, there's tobacco in here, but it doesn't smell like tobacco to me. It just smells like a campfire, which I love. This is cozy. This is a perfect winter scent. So I've talked about it so much. I love this one. This was love at first sniff, and now it's like super nostalgic for me, so it's not going anywhere. But anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the little notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.